So good morning students. Today is the second last class of the nucleophilic substitution reaction of alkyl halides. In today's class, we'll discuss some of the NCERT question based on SN1 and SN2 mechanism. Now we have already discussed previously that in SN1 mechanism, that stands for, all of us know, unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, you will find that the one which is most reactive is your benzylic halide. Remember benzylic halide, which has a halogen on the benzylic carbon. What's a benzylic carbon? Directly attached to the benzene ring. So the benzylic halides are most reactive because they form carbocations which are resonance stabilized, highly resonance stabilized, followed by allyl halide. They also forms the carbocations which are resonance stabilized. Because you know SN1 mechanism, the one which forms the halogen containing compound which forms the stable carbocation is the one which is going to be more reactive. Followed by your tertiary halide, then comes your secondary alkyl halide, followed by your primary alkyl halide. If you remember, I've already discussed in great detail that as far as the CBSE point of view is concerned, what we need to discuss is there are other factors also, but we have discussed only those halogen containing compound like to undergo SN1 mechanism which forms the carbocations which are highly resonance stabilized, the one which are having a bit more stability. In SN2 mechanism, you know who is going to be the most reactive one. SN2 mechanism, the most reactive ones are your primary alkyl halide, because in SN2 mechanism, that is biomolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, we regard that around halogen there should be less crowding. Around halogen there should be less crowding so that the back attack is possible. Followed by secondary alkyl halide, followed by nothing but tertiary alkyl halide, the one which is going to be the least reactive of the lot. And you do know whether it is SN1 or SN2 mechanism. In both of them, who reacts the best? It is the iodides, followed by the bromides, followed by the chlorides, and the most lazy one to be replaced are nothing but your fluoride. So today, what we are going to discuss today are the question based on these concepts only. And as I am discussing the question, you should try these questions along with me. Okay? So let's start the question one by one. The first question says that you are given a group of two compounds. You are given the set of two compounds and you have to compare their reactivity towards SN2 mechanism. The reactivity towards SN2 mechanism. You are given the set of two compounds. You are given the pair of compounds. You have to find out which one is more reactive, which one is less reactive. In such type of question, the compounds which are given to you should be marked as nothing but primary, secondary and tertiary, and then accordingly need to be decided as the order is given on the top. So we have got these two set of compounds. We have to find out of these two compounds which will undergo SN2 mechanism very, very quickly. So let's mark it. This is primary. This one is nothing but secondary. And already we know out of primary and secondary who is going to be more reactive. It is the primary. So this is going to be more reactive, this is going to be less reactive. Let's see the second part. In second part, you are given these set of compounds. One is iodide and other one is like this. This is primary. This is also a primary. Both of them are primary because halogen is on the primary carbon. Since both of them are primary, you would have guessed it right. You're perfectly all right. Who will be more reactive? The iodine wala more reactive as compared to the chlorine wala. You have told you already either SN1 and SN2. This is the order of reactivity. So this was the first in-text question of the NCERT. We do get question 1 marker in the exam like this. Now let us discuss another in-text question. This is quite interesting one. The question goes like this. Today we are going to discuss a lot of questions and it is advisable that you should do all these questions along with me, then it is going to make more sense. Question says draw the 4 isomers, your pet question, of the compound with the formula C4H9Br. Let us draw the 4 isomers of the compound with the formula C4H9Br. And then what you have to do is that compare the reactivity. Compare the reactivity of the 4 isomers in SN1 or SN2 mechanism. In both of them you have to compare the reactivity. Now first of all, let's draw the 4 isomers. So we have got this one as a first isomer, the normal variety, obviously the primary one. Let's say this is A for apple. Let's draw the second isomer with the Br hanging at the second position. This is a secondary variety. Let's mark it as B, that is Bada apple. Let's draw another one, the iso variety. The iso variety is nothing but your primary. This is your Chota apple, C for Chota apple. And last one will be the tertiary variety. Let's mark it D, which is called the Dusra apple. Now let's compare their reactivity in SN1 mechanism. I've already told you, in SN1 mechanism the most reactive is tertiary, followed by secondary, followed by primary. So blindly you can write down the one which is going to be more reactive will be Dusra apple, D for donkey, Dusra apple. Then will come your B for Bombay. Out of these two we have to decide because both of them are primary. Now how to decide out of these two primary halides? We have to see out of these two which one will form the more stable carbocation. The one which will form more stable carbocation will be more reactive. Now in this case this bond will break, you will have a positive charge over here. In this case this bond will break and you will have a positive charge over here. In this case this whole group, the iso group, is going to stabilize the carbocation better. So the carbocation which is formed by this compound, which will get a positive charge on this carbon, will be more stabilized. So this will be more reactive. So it will be C for Calcutta, and then A will be least reactive because A is going to form the least stable carbocation. In SN2 obviously the order will be the reverse. In SN2 the one which will be more reactive will be your A with less of steric hindrance, followed by C, followed by B, and then D, which is a tertiary halide, will be the least reactive. So out of these two to decide, this was interesting. We have seen that in this case when this bond will break you will have a positive charge over here. In this case this bond will break, you will have a positive charge over here, and this group will stabilize the carbocation or a positive charge on this carbon better as compared to this normal variety, because this has got more of plus I effect. The plus I effect of the iso group will be better as compared to the normal group which is present over here. In SN1 mechanism, who reacts the best? The one which is going to form halogen containing compound, which is going to form the most stable carbocation, as we have seen when we were discussing the mechanism of SN1. Okay. Now there is one more part of this particular question. Again we are given the 3-4 compounds. We have to compare their reactivity towards SN1 and SN2 mechanism. The first compound given to us is this C6H5CH2Br. Wherever you see this group C6H5 or C6H4, it means it has to have a benzene ring. The next one is your C6H5CH, another C6H5 and the Br, 2 benzene rings. Okay, the next variety which is given to us is C6H5 with a benzene ring CH, CH3Br. Another one is nothing but C6H5. In this case we are going to put the concept of that benzylic one. I told you benzylic halides are very reactive because they form the carbocations which are highly resonance stabilized. So let's say this is A, this is your B, this is your C, and this is your D. First of all, let's expand their structure. Now this one would mean a benzene ring. C6H5 means a benzene ring, phenyl group, and this will be having CH2 here. This carbon is benzylic carbon attached directly to the benzene ring. Told you so many times. If you expand this, it will be like this, CH, another benzene ring. In this case, the benzylic carbon has got 2 benzene ring, and I have told you before also, if on the benzylic carbon there are more number of benzene ring, reactivity towards SN1 will be better because they will form the more stable carbocation. The third one is CCH5, CH, and we have a CH3 and the Br. Last one is C6H5. We have got there should be a C over here, CH3, this is C. So this should be C, then this is CH3, another benzene ring. Let me draw the benzene ring so that it becomes more diagrammatic. So this is benzene, C6H5, another benzene, two benzene rings, and the Br. You can see this one is primary, this one is your secondary, this one is your again secondary, this one is your nothing but your tertiary. So let's compare the reactivity towards SN1 mechanism. SN1, you know, the one which is going to be most reactive, tertiary, then your secondary, and then your primary. This is your D, this is your C, this is your B, and this is your A. So obviously on the concept of tertiary, secondary, and primary, the one which is going to be most reactive is you're going to be D. Then will come secondary. Now the problem is that there are two secondaries over here. This is also secondary, this is also secondary. So how to decide out of these two which will be more reactive? Logic is same. If there are more number of benzene ring on the benzylic carbon, the reactivity towards SN1 is better. So this B is more reactive because benzylic carbon has two benzene ring. It will form a carbocation. When this bond will break, you will have a positive charge over here. And this positive charge can get delocalized on this benzene as well as on this benzene by resonance. So the carbocation will be highly stable. So the B1 having two benzene ring will be better. Then will come C, and the least one will be A, which is nothing but your primary halide. So this was based on the concept if the benzylic carbon has got more number of benzene ring, the reactivity towards SN1 mechanism is better. The reverse will be the order for SN2. So in SN2 who will be more reactive, then A, then C, then B, and then D. Just the reverse order for SN2 mechanism. So these two questions that you discussed, they are really like important ones that need some brains. So just keep in mind the logical reasoning which I have given you. In SN1 what we do, we see that the halogen containing compound should form a more stable carbocation. Let us now discuss some more questions. Another question. We have to compare the reactivity of the pair of compounds towards SN2 mechanism. So let's see what are the different pairs which are given to us. In the first question, first part, this is one of the variety. This is your 1-bromo-butane. Another one is your, this though we have just discussed. It's just a repetition. 2-bromo-butane. SN2, this is primary and this is your secondary. SN2, remember the order? Again I am repeating the same things so that it goes into your head. It is primary, then secondary, then tertiary. So this one will be more reactive as compared to this among the following pair of compounds. Okay, the next part is out of these two compounds we have to guess which one will be more reactive towards SN2 mechanism. Which is going to be more reactive towards SN2 mechanism. Okay, not an issue. So let's mark it. This is secondary, this is tertiary. So will be more reactive? Secondary, because order you know is again I'm repeating the same thing. Primary, then secondary, then tertiary. If it is SN2 mechanism. Third part is also there. Okay, this one is given to us. This we have discussed when we were discussing the mechanism. But I don't know how many of you remember, how many of you have seen the video carefully. Among these two, you can see both of them are primary. So, even the halogen is same for both of them. The difference is that in this case, we have got a group over here. The group which is hanging like this. Over here, the group is slightly towards the halogen. So naturally, the group which is hanging is towards the halogen. There will be more of steric hindrance over here. I told you in SN2 which one reacts more easily. The one which has got less crowding around halogen. So this has more crowding. So this will be less reactive and this will be more reactive. There is a space available over here for the back attack. Over here it will be slightly difficult for the nucleophile to come and attack on this carbon. This will offer steric hindrance. So this was a nice example. Keep in mind. Now let us discuss the next question given in NCERT. I hope you are enjoying the questions. I hope it is not a boring session because just but studying the theory doesn't solve any purpose. You should know on this theory what type of questions can come. You should always learn with whatever subject you are learning. You should always learn it with the application. Simply going through the theory and theory and theory doesn't serve any purpose. So again, a pair of compound, you have to compare the reactivity towards SN1 mechanism. The first one given is like this. This is a bond line representation. This one, and the other compound is this one. You know the thing what you do. Mark them as primary, secondary and tertiary. In SN1, again I'm repeating the same thing. It is tertiary, then secondary, then primary. This is a tertiary halide. This is a secondary halide. So bacho, out of these two will be more reactive? This one. Very good. Children are very, very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. And the best part is that in their holidays, they are studying so seriously. They are studying so seriously. Even the teachers are teaching very seriously during the vacation. So, anyway, jokes apart. So, out of these two, we have to compare. This one is primary, this one is secondary. Who will be more reactive? It will be this one. The primary one will be more reactive. Another NCERT question. Another NCERT question given at the back, we have to compare the reactivity in SN2 mechanism. SN2, remember what was order of reactivity? Primary, then secondary, and then your tertiary. So we have this compound, okay. Another one CH3Br. Both of them are primary. If both of them are primary, who will be more reactive? Iodine wala better than the bromine wala, then chlorine wala, and blah 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 blah. The next one is like this. In this we have to expand it. It is given this one and this one. So let's expand this one. This one though is primary. If you expand it, it has Cl and CH3, CH3, CH3 like this. This is your tertiary halide. So who will be more reactive? The primary one. We are talking about SN2 mechanism. In SN2 mechanism, what is the order of reactivity? You guessed it right. It is primary, then secondary, and then tertiary. Now let us discuss the last question on this SN1 and SN2 mechanism. Again given in NCERT at the back. So we have to again compare the reactivity towards SN2 mechanism. What is the order? Primary, then secondary, then tertiary. The first compound which is given to us is 2-bromo, 2-methyl butane. Only thing is that in this case we have to draw the structure also. Not a problem. Then we have got 1-bromo pentane. Okay. This is going to test our two skills to draw the structure and then to apply the concept. Then it is your 2-bromo pentane. So let's compare the reactivity towards SN2 mechanism. Let's draw the structure. This is 4 carbon. Okay, second position Br, the methyl group. This is your tertiary variety. Let it be A for apple. 1-bromopentane, 5 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Br. First degree, this is your, let's say B for boy. Then 2-bromopentane, it's again 5 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the Br. This is your secondary. So SN2, which one will be more reactive? The B1, which is primary, will be more reactive, followed by the C1, which is secondary, and the least reactive will be A, which is nothing but tertiary. Very simple. In SN2, what is the order of reactivity? It is nothing but 1 degree, then 2 degree, then 3 degree. The next question, this was the first part. Second part, again we are given the following molecules: 1-bromo, 3-methyl butane. Oh, so interesting. So interesting. The other one is your 2-bromo, 2-methyl butane. 2-methyl butane. And the last one is your 2-bromo, 2-methyl butane. Please draw the structure. 1-bromo, 3-methyl butane, 4 carbon. Okay, one position Br, third position methyl, no problem. Mark it, primary halide, let it be A for apple. Next one is 2-bromo, 2-methyl butane. Okay, this will come out to be tertiary. This is tertiary. This is B for boy. Okay, last one, it is 2-bromo 2-methylbutane. Okay, 2-bromo. Two things are given same. This is 2-bromo 2-methyl, 2-bromo 2-methyl. How can two things will be same? I think I've written this wrong. This is 2-bromo. Let's make it 3-methyl. So this will be your 3-methyl butane. This is 2-bromo 2-methylbutane. This is your tertiary. This is C for Calcutta. This is your secondary. So who will be more reactive? It is A, which is primary, then B, which is secondary. Oh, it's given in the order. And C, which is nothing but tertiary. So my mistake, it was 2-bromo 3-methylbutane, given in the NCERT. Now there's one more part of this. I hope this part you will enjoy. This part is quite interesting. Let's see the question. So these two parts are correct. So again I'm repeating in SN1, who reacts better? I think by now आप लोग पक गए होंगे. It is tertiary, then secondary, then primary. SN2 में कौन ज़्यादा react करता है? Primary, then secondary, then tertiary. और चाहे SN1 हो चाहे SN2 हो, कौन ज़्यादा react करता है? It is iodine, then bromine, then chlorine, और सबसे डफर होता है फ्लोरीन वाला compound. Anyway, PJ part. Let's discuss this one. Third part says 1-bromo butane. 1-bromo butane. Second part says 1-bromo 2,2-dimethyl propane. Dimethyl propane. The third one is your 1-bromo 2-methyl butane. You have to draw the structure. 2-methyl butane. And the last one is 1-bromo and then 3-methyl butane. 3-methyl butane. The best part of this question is that all of them is going to be primary. All of them are going to be primary. And I will be deciding on the basis of steric hindrance. The one which has got more of steric hindrance, more of branching around halogen will be less reactive, because we are talking about SN2 mechanism in which we look for the steric hindrance. We look for the steric hindrance. Steric hindrance. Okay, I'm happy today because less time lockdown 3 get over. Hopefully it will get over. I don't know what will happen. Any guesses? Anyway, this is A, this is B. Problem is that in this all of them are primary. So the one which will be more reactive will be A, because you can see there is no crowding at all, no branching and all that. So A1 will be the most reactive. Then you can see there are two branching over here. Steric hindrance will be higher. 2 methyl groups present over here. So B1 will be the least reactive. This is the most duffer we have out of all the 4 lot. More branching, more steric hindrance and all. Let's see out of these two, because this is one branching and this is only one branching. Now this already we have discussed. I think this is a thrice I'm discussing this. CH3 is closer to the Br, so back attack will not be possible. Steric hindrance is more. In this case the space is there for the back attack. Out of C and D, who will be more reactive? It is D for donkey and then C for Calcutta. The order will be A, D, C, B. That is the order of reactivity in this particular question. So we will discuss a lot of NCERT questions based on SN1 SN2 mechanism, and we do get 1 marker questions to compare the given the reactivity of the given halogen containing compound towards SN1 or SN2 mechanism. I repeat, in SN1 mechanism, those halogen containing compound will be more reactive, which forms more stable carbocation. And the order was, as I started the class, benzylic, then allylic, and among the alkyl halide it is tertiary, then secondary, then primary. SN2 it was the reverse order, primary alkyl halide, then secondary alkyl halide, and then tertiary alkyl halide. Before we close the class, let us discuss one question. Very interesting question. You know, if you take any alkyl halide, let's say we take chloroethane, you take any alkyl halide, in this, if you put aqueous KOH, Aqueous means water is present. What is going to happen? It's a nucleophilic substitution reaction. The Cl will be replaced by OH. It's again an NCERT question given at the back. You will get the formation of ethanol. So the question says when you take an alkyl chloride or any halide, when you react with aqueous KOH, you will get an alcohol. Same compound, if you reacted with not aqueous, but you reacted with alcoholic, that is in Hindi called Bevda KOH, alcoholic KOH, alcohol is present in KOH, you will get the formation of an alkene. The compound undergoes dehydrohalogenation, it undergoes beta elimination and forms alkene. The question comes, why? Why with aqueous KOH? I told you when I was discussing this particular part, I told you we'll discuss later on, and now this is the time to discuss this question. With aqueous KOH, why we get an alcohol? With alcoholic OH, why do we get an alkene? The answer is very simple. When we use aqueous KOH, that is water in which KOH is dissolved, what happens is the alkyl halide will undergo a reaction called nucleophilic substitution reaction with a strong nucleophile, that is OH minus. OH minus is a very strong nucleophile, though it's a base also, but in the presence of water, it has got more nucleophilic character and less of basic nature. So because it is acting as a strong nucleophile, it will cause the reaction to happen as a nucleophilic substitution reaction. That is what happens in the first reaction. The halogen gets substituted by OH by a nucleophile OH minus. Now what happens when we use alcoholic KOH? We use alcohol and KOH. What does it happen? Alcoholic KOH has got in it a very strong base RO minus coming from ROH. That's an alkoxide ion. It's a very, very strong base. It's a very, very strong base because it is a conjugate base of a weak acid, that is alcohol. So RO minus alkoxide ion is present, which is a very, very strong base. And in the presence of strong base, what happens is alkyl halides undergoes not substitution reaction, but they will undergo beta elimination reaction. Remember what was beta elimination reaction? In which halogen and hydrogens are replaced or removed from the adjoining carbon. Bagal wale carbon se hatte. So it undergoes a reaction, not substitution, but beta elimination reaction. Because the strong base is there, strong base will favor the elimination reaction and you get the formation of an alkene. So in these two reactions, actually the mechanism is different. In the first one, since a strong nucleophile OH minus is present, what type of reaction happens? Nucleophilic substitution reaction. With alcoholic KOH, we have got a very strong base RO minus coming from alcohol, and the strong base causes a beta elimination reaction. Beta elimination reaction. Actually, what is going to happen? If you want to understand, this RO minus will do what? RO minus will do what? RO minus will do what? The RO minus will come near this molecule. It is going to take this hydrogen like this, along with it will take out this H plus. These two electrons will come over here, and simultaneously this Cl will go away. So with the result, what happens? RO minus is going to take away this H plus. The electrons present over here, they come over here, making it a double bond, and the Cl is eliminated as Cl minus. So it's a beta elimination reaction. RO minus removes the H plus from the beta position. This is alpha carbon and this is beta carbon. What is alpha carbon? Attached to the functional group. The carbon attached to the functional group is called alpha carbon. So from here the halogen gets removed. From the beta carbon, the hydrogen is removed by RO minus. So strong base causes beta elimination reaction and you get nothing but the formation of alkene. So in today's class, actually what we have discussed is the question, but this class was very important because I have told you any subject you study, whether you study maths, you study physics, you study any subject, but even English, even physical education, any subject you study, with theory you should also practice the question. The more questions you practice, more concept clarity it brings. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care, enjoy, keep on studying. Thank you.